Oh, I'm live, I think. I think I'm live. Welcome to the Truly Myrtle podcast. It is so lovely to have you with me. I'm Libby and I'm from Truly Myrtle, and I have this podcast live every Thursday, 10 a.m. New Zealand time, pretty much every week. And we go live out to YouTube and we go live into our Facebook group, which is called The Hangout. And we talk about all things to do with Truly Myrtle knitting and Truly Myrtle yarn. So come and join us over there if you want a bit of company when you're knitting. And it's really lovely to see you. And I love doing this live because I can chat to you. And so throw me a comment in the chat. Say hi. If you're calling in from Facebook, maybe put your name at the end of the comment because I can't always see who you are. I just see Facebook. Now let me just check. Good morning. How am I? I'm good. Let me just check my microphone's on. Because, oh, it is on. That's good. Phew. Because that's happened before, hasn't it? I'm pretty good. It's chaos here. I actually just started and the noise has just stopped. I heard someone is having a shower, and don't you know, you can't have a shower unless you have very loud music playing. Did you know that? That is a thing. I'm going to look at your comments. So there was very loud, God, these are filthy glasses. There was very, very loud music playing. I thought, oh, that would be nice. We'll be accompanied. We will have something accompanying us. Hopefully it doesn't have too bang, bash swear words. I have a rule in this house. I'm not going to repeat the words that I tell them are banned from the songs. There are certain words that we are not having in our house in songs. And I was hoping we wouldn't get one of those over the loudspeaker, but it seems to have stopped. The shower is obviously complete. Kim, I'm good. I'm good. The weather is warm. The sun is shining. Oh, it's good. It's chaos. It's absolute chaos, but it feels good. It's always get to this point of the year, doesn't it, when you think, Christmas is around the corner and there's the end of the year and I can see it and there might even be a holiday and I have so much to do and I really should be cracking on and doing it. You know, it's hard. Hey, Tanya, lovely to see you too. Hi, Michelle from Sydney. Good on you. You put your name there too. And Rebecca. It's a drizzly outer Melbourne. Drizzly. That's no good. We've had some good weather here. I'm just going to put my slippers back on my feet because my feet were getting a bit chilly. Hey Morgan, it's nice to see you too. She's been so busy, Morgan. Anyway, Morgan helps us out in the hangout. She's one of our moderators. She does a lot of helping out. And she's been so busy, haven't you? But she's back. Yay. Hey Maureen, glorious day so far, Maureen. Have you been for a walk, Maureen, yet? I've been for my walk out there and it was just beautiful. And it's funny, isn't it? Because some days this tiniest slope can feel so steep. Yesterday, I just thought that slope seemed so steep. Today, I didn't notice it. It's not really much of a slope, to be honest, but I did notice coming down the hill. So different muscles in your legs, I think. Hey, Tammy, nice to see you from Oregon. Hi, Lisa, nice to see you. Don't tell me that. 39 sleeps till Christmas. 39. I've done very, very little Christmas shopping. The house has just turned into a bomb site. Everybody's home. Everybody's exploded. Not everybody. One more person has to come, but just about everybody is home. And they've all exploded into the house. And my daughter said this morning, it doesn't really feel like Christmas. I said, that's probably because the house is such a mess. As soon as we start tidying the house, maybe it'll feel like Christmas. Maybe, I don't know. Hey, it's warming up in Sydney. Nice, Beck. That's really good. We're into our summer knits now. I've got my little Adira on today. I like this little knit. It's just so light and easy to wear. It's really nice. I haven't worn it for ages. This one, I've been wearing the pink one. It's a lovely day in Auckland, says Philippa. Relaxing knitting. Nice. Oh, thank you. Yes, my birthday tomorrow. It's my birthday tomorrow. I'm going to have a quiet day, I think. Yeah, it should be nice. Mr. Myrtle's going to treat me, which will be really nice. Hey, Helen. Nice to see you from South Arm, Tasmania. I don't know what arm's short for. Is it short for something? Lovely to see you, though. You've finished your shopping for the grandkids, Terry. Good on you. It's a fine but overcast morning in Kimbolton. Hey, Claire. Nice to see you, too. Well, sounds like we have a range of weather around for those of us who are here, so that is good. I'm hoping you're all indulging in some sort of knitting or wearing some sort of knitting. I've got one thing to show you today because I thought it was time we released a new pattern, and I'm going to release a pattern for you tomorrow. And this is a pattern that has been in Wardrobe Toolbox for the last year, over a year. And it's one that I have so enjoyed watching people make. Some absolutely beautiful versions have been made, and people have been, some of the knitters who have made it have just, it can be a really special shawl. It's a shawl. So I'll show it to you. She's called Helia. She's a she. She's called Helia, and she's really big. And she has this lovely mesh pattern. The idea was, I thought it would be lovely to create something that was lighter. You can wear her in the winter. You could knit her up. Mine's knitted with a woolly yarn. I'll tell you about that in a minute. But I thought you could knit it in something really lightweight and wear her in the summer. You could even knit her in a lace weight and wear her in the summer. But I just thought it was nice to have all that airiness in the body, and then it has this beautiful lace pattern around the bottom with that scalloped edge, and you knit that way. So just on the point of making it to wear in summery weather, it was in Wardrobe Toolbox, and one of our members spins a lot of cotton and uses a lot of cotton, and she's in a part of Australia that it gets very warm, and she made hers in all cotton. Oh, and it was absolutely just divine. It was so divine. It's one of those ones, I often see your samples of things that I've designed, and I think, oh, I want that one. I want that one too. And it's just stunning in the cotton. Rebecca's saying she loves her Helia. She's my favorite shawl. Yeah, she's fabulous. She's big. She's extremely, she just feels luxury and special, and she'll make you feel really clever. You can easily manage the lace, but she will make you feel clever, and you'll learn something new. You could knit the mesh pattern and then a smaller border. Absolutely. Let me tell you how it's constructed. So you've knit down from the top. You start in the center at the top, and you knit the sort of banana shape. Well, it's a big crescent, just a slim crescent. I wanted it to be long shawl, so she's got lots of length. Let me show you a picture of her with me wearing her, so you get a sense of how long she is. Hang on, I've printed off a couple of things, because I thought it's going to be difficult for me to stand up and show you. That is a picture of me wearing her here. So you see she's got a bit of length to her, so you can flicker around. You can wear a bandana style and flicker around, or you can just have her thrown over your shoulder. I went out last weekend to a comedy show. It was really funny. We went to see Kevin Bridges, and I wore something a bit summery, and I just wanted a light layer, so I didn't take this one. I thought about taking this one, but I ended up taking my Haven shawl. She just matched the clothes I was wearing, and I had her draped around my shoulders. I just had her hanging around my shoulders, and then I could just throw it up over, and it's just such a nice way to wear a shawl. It feels, I just wanted to be a little bit more dressed up. I didn't want to just go on my jeans and a t-shirt. I wanted to wear something just a little bit dressy, so I wore my shawl like that. It's a really lovely way to wear a shawl, and you can imagine, I think, this would be a special shawl for a wedding or for a really special occasion, just because of that lace on her is, she sits beautifully, and the lace on her is just stunning. Anyway, you start at the top, and you knit the mesh pattern, which you will memorize. I have it charted, and I have it written in the pattern. You'll memorize that in no time, and you'll be able to read it. It's a good one to practice reading your knitting as you're working down. So you'll knit your mesh, and you get all that done, and it sort of has a nice sweep to it as well. The look of the mesh has this really lovely sweep, which is difficult to see when you just see a little smidge of it on my screen. Hold it back, but it has a lovely sweep. And then you get to the bottom, and all the stitches at the bottom are live. And I don't recall how many, but there are quite a few at the bottom, and I don't think I printed off that page. I didn't, to tell you how many you have at the bottom. But they're all live on your needle. And then what you do is you turn the corner like this. So you're at the bottom, and you have live stitches, and you turn the corner, and you cast on all of these stitches for the border. So you cast those on, and then as you're knitting, you catch the live stitches, so you're binding off as you go. I love binding off as I go. Now, it does take a while because you're knitting all the lace in between, but once you're finished, you're finished. All you have to do is bind off that amount of stitches at the end. So you knit and bind off, and you work this little piqué not piqué, this little scalloped edge as you go, and it just grows as you're moving along. So you could make it skinnier. So Terry, as long as you had the same pattern repeat in terms of rows, or something that worked in terms of rows, then you can make it skinnier, and you just work your rows as long as you're catching all those stitches on the side, and you're not going to get something that, I mean, you could make it quite rippled if you wanted, and gathered if you had, more, but if it's, fuller. But as long as you've got enough stitches to catch your rows, you could just make it narrower. You don't have to have it. You could go with just one of the repeats. It's all charted in here, but you could just chop it off if you wanted to. But it's not as tricky as you think, the lace. It is. It does take a wee while to work your way up, but it is incredibly satisfying doing it. So the yarn I actually used was this one. It's Ulysses, I suppose you say. Ulysses. It's a French yarn. It's a woolen spun yarn. It's a 2-ply woolen spun yarn. This is so light. It is so incredibly light. So it's a nice option for the winter because there isn't a lot of weight to it, but an awful lot of warmth. And you can sort of take it into those. My idea was it would be something that you could take into summer months if you wanted, just to throw around your shoulders. You don't have the heaviness of a great big, a great big heavy shawl. It's just beautifully light. But that's the one I used. Of course, it would be stunning in a silk merino or something, even with a fleck of linen in it. And like I said, the cotton, all of those fibers, you can really play around with fibers. It used 5 balls of this, and these are 50-gram balls. It used 5 of those. So it used, let me just tell you the breakdown. If you wanted to swap it out, I'll give you all this information when I release it. You just need to be on my mini mag tomorrow. So just go to trulymyrtle.com/mini mag, and I'll give you all these details in that tomorrow. And of course, there'll be a discount. I always discount new patterns when they're out. I've got hair in my mouth now. 185 meters per 50-gram ball. So what's that? 360, 370. So it's almost, so it's like ever so slight. It's a fingering. Go for a fingering. And I used 2 skeins of this colour, the Darjeeling, the dirty mustard. So that's 1 skein of a regular, of a 100-gram skein. Use 1 of those. And then 3 balls of the other one for the border. You could use the same yarn for the whole thing. It would be beautiful. Or you could mix and match it, but you need 3 for the other one. So that's like a skein for this, and then a skein and a half for this, thereabouts. Probably if you used all one colour, you'd get away with, I'd say, 3 skeins. No, hang on, what did I just say? A skein and a skein and a half. You might get away with 2 or just over 2. You'd probably want to spare just in case. But because these are, if you used a 400, I'm going to talk little numbers, but if you had a standard 400 metre long skein of fingering, that gives you just a little bit more yardage. So what I did have a little bit left. So you might get it out of 2 skeins, I think, of just a regular fingering. But I'm not going to promise you that. Just have it depend on your gauge as well. The other thing to think about is gauge. So it wouldn't hurt. I am a bit of a proponent of just, rip it and go with shawls, because I don't know if you just have to cross your fingers and hope for the best sometimes with shawls, because the fit isn't as important, and there's only so much swatching we might want to do in our lives. So you could just go and start knitting, but do remember that your gauge for this needs to fit with this going the other way. So if you're swapping yarns, be mindful of that you might knit differently. You might knit your lace differently. You might knit the yarns differently. So just think about, you could do a little swatch just to check your gauge for this against this, or at least this, so it's end up with the right stitch gauge, so that you end up with the right row gauge for this one. And anyway, you might want to practice this. If you're feeling a little nervous about doing the lace, you might want to practice it. You could just do a little slither to see how you're going in terms of rows, really. It's about rows with this one, and it's about stitches with this one. Okay, so you could have a little check of that before you start. Let me just have a look at your comments. Maureen has her ham ordered. Oh, you get it from the Drury Butcher. I didn't think about that actually, Maureen. I could order that one from them. I sometimes pop in there. We have our own meat, of course, so I don't often go to the butcher. They're a good butcher though in there, aren't they? Okay, Maureen lives not far from me. Alyssa, morning Libby. Busy knitting grandchildren's Christmas stockings to replace those lost in the cyclone. Gabriel, mud. Oh, Alyssa. Goodness, there's all these little things, aren't they, that are just, that are going to be, some people just lost everything, didn't they? Lots of people lost everything. But that would be nice, knitting little Christmas stockings. Oh, that's really sweet. Helen said, I'm starting on the lace of Paloma. Neat. I've got Paloma coming for everybody. It'll be before the end of the year. That's the one with the lovely... I nearly wore that today. And then I thought, oh, no, I think I'll wear this one. It's a bit lighter. Thank you. Happy birthday. South is a suburb of Hobart. Right. Okay, Helen. Rebecca says, we've already said that. She loves. Three loves her Helia. There we are. See, it's getting a lot of love. It's a good shawl. Morning from Hastings in the sunny Hawke's Bay. I'm off with COVID. Oh, Helen, that's a bother. I nearly said something else. I'm so able to watch live today, which is great, as I normally have to wait till Thursday evening and watch the recording. Oh, well, it's lovely to see you, Helen. I hope you're feeling better soon. Terry said, I was wondering if I could knit the mesh and then knit a smaller border so it didn't end up so large. Yeah, because you're not so tall, Terry, so it's always a thing for you, isn't it, having it slightly smaller? Absolutely, but you would have got that from what I just said. You could find another lace, as long as, I think, to keep life easy for yourself, choose a lace that has the same multiple that can fit into this pattern repeat, and then go for it. And you could just pop the little border on, just knock a whole lot out of that if you wanted. You could also, Terry, do a smaller mesh, as long as your stitch count worked out with the lace multiple. That's the other way to do it. And so you could just have a smaller mesh and more lace. You could do it that way round. Beck said, it's such a great pattern. I use the same yarn as me. Oh, neat. That's right. You had beautiful colours, I think, Beck. Get so many compliments when I wear it. The lace is not as tricky as it looks. Yeah, that's the nice thing, isn't it? Hi, Sabrina. Nice to see you. Morena, I know that's you. Hi, Barb. You're a bit late this morning. That's okay. That's okay. You don't have to be sorry you're late. Morgan says, here we go. This is a luxury one. I used Hani Hooley's Silky Bar Lamb and Silky Humps, and it is divine. It looks complicated, but it isn't. I did the test, and it's a simple repeat. Yes, Morgan, this in silk. I mean, a bride could wear that. The mother of a bride could wear that. It just would be so incredibly special. I'll put it on for you and show you, but it could be so incredibly special. You wouldn't wear it like this if you're a bride, obviously. You'd wear it differently, but I like wearing it like this as well. It just has all that fabulous lace. I love the different colours, but the way I wore it in the picture, where you can see it all tucked over like that, and then you just get that lovely smooth look as well to it. Hi from Portalington. Where is Portalington? Tell me where that is. Is it in Australia? No, you're short, Terry. I know it's you. Just a little dot. Okay. So that was the guts of it, really. That's the new shawl. It's got charts for you. My mother is a chart convert. She might be watching. She's been knitting my Viva Cow, and she has converted. I might have converted her, almost be converting her to charts. She's been using the chart. I told her they were good. They are good. For those of you who don't use charts yet, have a bash. Just have a bash and see what you think. It is a little bit at first. You just have to work it out. But once you get it, you've got it. There's the chart for the mesh pattern in this one. It's nice and big. So if you print it out, you don't need your glasses even. When you're looking at it, you could just read it. And it also has a chart for the lace, which is a little bit smaller. You might want to wear your glasses for that one. What else have I got here? I'm trying to see if there's anything else I've forgotten to tell you about her. Yarn, size. There's no tricky stitches. Let me tell you some of them. You're going to have to knit two together. You can do that. You can do a backwards loop cast on. You can do that. You're going to have to purl stitches together. You can do that. You're going to have to pass a slip stitch over. Pretty sure you can do that. You can do an SSK. The harder stitch, That's all the stitches. One more. The hardest stitch is an SSP, slip, slip, purl. And for that one, you slip 2 stitches at a time knitwise. You insert your left needle into the slip stitches from right to left, put them back on the left needle, and then purl them together through the back loop. So it's even, that isn't even too tricky. I tell you how to do that. So I don't think there's any videos that go with it. I don't think there was anything tricky enough, but really there's no tricky stitches. That's why if you can just go slowly and carefully, there are yarn overs obviously in it. There's lots of lace, but if you can just go slowly and carefully, you can do that lace. It's that way. You do it that way. You can do that lace slowly and carefully, and it will just emerge out of your knitting with knits and purls and yarn overs and SSKs and SSPs and purl togethers, knit togethers, that kind of thing. It's not anything mind shattering. Just keep an eye on it. Portalington is close to Melbourne. Fernanda. Is it? Okay. It sounded, my sister lives in Darlington in England. It reminded me of that. Lisa says, I'm sitting and knitting in my car. My son is on a driver's ed drive. That sounds good. I love it when you can have a little bit of a wait. Nothing like a wait when you have your knitting. We all like having a wait. So that's all I wanted to show you today, folks. I wanted to show you the new pattern. I wanted to let you know that she's called Helia. She's out tomorrow. Happens to be my birthday. There will be a discount on the pattern. You just need to get onto my mini mag to grab that. And it will be 20% off. It'll just be for the weekend. It'll end on Sunday night for my time. Actually, it will go till your Sunday night. Whenever your Sunday night is, that's when it usually finishes. And she's a really fun knit. And if you have something summery coming up, a wedding to get planned for, or a special event, or you just want a shawl for next winter that you can throw on and feel just a little bit special. She'll just lift everything you're wearing. You'll feel a little bit glamorous. I think it's about time we embraced a bit of glamour back in our lives in some microscopic ways, and that she's a good one to do it with. Helia is a beautiful shawl to wear when you're going somewhere special. You can just throw her over. Thank you. Yes, happy birthday for tomorrow. Yes, 52. I'm 52 tomorrow. Those years are creeping by, aren't they? They're actually not creeping by. They're racing by. It's hard to believe they're going by so quickly, but you know, it's a good September. It's November the 17th. It's a good day. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you. Okay, everybody, I will catch some of your wardrobe toolboxes momentarily, because we've got a special question and answer session in about an hour and a half. And we had a great lesson this month. We were talking about recycling yarn and getting our kinks out of our yarn and ways to make balls and all sorts of fun stuff. So we've got a question and answer session. So I'll see some of you back here in about an hour and a half. So you can have a cup of tea and grab your knitting and join me then. And the rest of you, I will see you next week, same time, same place next week for another chat. I'm sure I'll have something fun to show you by then. And have a really lovely week. Do heaps and heaps of knitting. Do take care. And I'll catch you later. Bye, everybody. See you later.